Okay, so welcome to my channel, Messages from Venus. So by the time you guys watch this video, it's going to be sometime next year, but I have to get all this content out. So I'm recording like 1,000 months before, but this video is probably going to be seen sometime during the month of March, like the second or third week of March, okay? So this video is going to be about Osiris. And by the time you guys watch this video, it's probably gonna be like the second or third video that I make about him. And this video is of him being the original fuckboy. Let me explain. Are you ready? Because a lot of us fantasize relationships, right? A lot of us fantasize relationships. We fantasize with the gods. We think they're absolutely perfect. But if and when you're actually doing research, you will see their imperfection, and that their imperfection created alchemy. It created the alchemy of who they are. And it also created their story. It's in the imperfection, not in the perfection, not in the grandiose things that they created and did, right? Why do I say that Osiris or Asur was the original fuckboy? Is because Osiris, just like some people say Jesus was the Alpha and the Omega, committed adultery. He slept with that sister, with Isis's sister, or Oset's sister, and I'm not even gonna mention her name because I have a problem. I have a serious problem. Like, there's some of you guys, some gods are not worthy of even being mentioned, and or being venerated, or being looked at, or being anything. So he committed adultery with his sister. The story goes, with his other sister, with Oset's twin sister that nobody really talks about. But I have to touch on the subject of her being in this video, so that I can explain to you guys where I'm going with this video. So this is sweet and short. Short and sweet. So he was married to Oset, which was his sister. But Oset had a twin sister, and you guys can look it up, I guess. Oset had why are people messaging me? And why am I getting it? I thought I had my phone on standby. But anyway, Oset had a twin sister who pretended to be her, and you're not gonna find information about her in this video. Like, you're just not. In my channel. So you guys can look up whatever it is that she represents, or etc., etc. I'm only going to talk about gods that are worthy of being spoken of on my channel. So they had sex, right? So she pretended to be Oset. So her twin sister pretended to be Oset and fucked Osiris. According to the story, he didn't know, and they created Anubis. So the sister got pregnant, and Anubis was created. Most people say, oh no, that it was Set's son, blah 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 blah. But yeah, all signs point to you did it. It was Osiris. They created Anubis. Why would you say, oh, but that's not a fuckboy move, this and that, cousin and the third? Well, it is a fuckboy move, right? Because if you look at the kings and the queens, all kings are allowed to have concubines, and they're allowed to have the side bitches. They're allowed to have fun. Back in the days, and even some kings and queens that still exist during this time, have scandalous stories, right? So because they embody these entities that once existed on this planet, because I do believe they existed, they carry on the same energy. So because he was the first son from Geb and Nut and Nut. So Geb and Nut had 4 children. The twin sisters, Set and Osiris. So they had the 4 kids, and he was the eldest. So the throne belonged to him, right? And because it was like one of the original sins. So it was like the first time that something like this happened, and he did it for the very first time. It wasn't happening on this planet. So he is the original fuckboy. He is the original sinner. He is the original, created the first act of adultery, right? So he carried the original sin, and they both, the sister and him, carried the original sin. Whatever Set did to us, Asur, was the original sin. Brother kills another brother, and some shit happens. So it wasn't just in the Egyptian mythology, it's also in other books. Even the Bible has the same story, okay? So the point of this video is that some of us, some women, we want to have the most perfect relationships, and you know, we want to have this perfect man, this perfect that, this perfect this, but we don't realize that we have ancestors behind us. And depending where you drop from, astrological sign, what past life contracts you have, what type of gods and goddesses you embody, depending on all of these things, you can carry some of these original sins with you, right? Which makes you imperfect, which makes you perfect in your own imperfections. And I feel like a lot of women need to know how to work their way around it. Not try to change it, because nobody changes no one else unless that person feels like they want to change. Or you can always resort to magic, you know, resort to bending somebody's will, stir the pot, which is fine, which is perfect. You do what you have to do to reach your purpose, okay? And also to reach the purpose and the consequences and actions, etc., etc. So that's that. So he was the original fuckboy. So when you guys talk about all these fuckboys, this, that, a lot of our men, especially in the Black and Hispanic community, they like to stunt around. They like to do this. The gods, when they were around, they were creating fucking forests. I mean, and not, oh my God, a forest. They were creating pyramids. They were creating Niles. They were creating a whole cities. Okay, so when your current version of Osiris rolls up, or Set rolls up talking about, well, I want some sneakers and I want this and I want that. I'm not saying that that's somebody that you should fall for, unless you either A, love that person, know that you can smell and take their shit, and 3, you have contracts with that person. Make sure that you have all 3, not just 1 out of the 2, 2 out of the 3, 3 out of the 3, because otherwise it'll be you picking up karma that you didn't need to pick up, or just like fucking yourself over at the end. But that's for the next video. So, so when your boyfriend, your husband, your this, that says, oh, sneakers for Christmas, this and that, you know, that's very minute to what we were being asked for back then. What was being asked of women back then. If you look in history, a lot of the women were venerated, but we also worked hard for what we had, right? So behind every good king there is a good queen, right? So I present to you guys the original fuckboy, Asur, Osiris, and that's that. Maybe you guys can find your original fuckboy in whatever mythology you guys follow, and then you guys can comment that name in the description box. Try to find the original fuckboys, because there's one in each mythology. Greek mythology, I don't know, everything, okay? Everything. There's one everywhere. Even the saints had one, okay? Find them, comment their names below. Do your research. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.